Hello, and thank you for contacting Wave Support. I see from your clinical request that these lenses are riding high and fitting rather tightly, probably keeping them from translating down where they need to center. So just a couple of general thoughts looking at your topography. As you know, we're missing a little bit of inferior corneal data due to the lacrimal lake here. Just a reminder, just try to keep those topographies as full as you can to maximize the fitting data that you have to work with. With that said, if we look at your design, it's a nice looking design based on the Wave software. It looks like an appropriate fit. However, as you know, it's not fitting optimally. So a couple thoughts. Since the lens is riding high, it sounds like it's fitting kind of steep. You obviously want to flatten it up. And what I like to do in those cases is recommend that we try to get this landing zone between the blue and the pink dot aligned as nicely as we can. And the best way to do that, in these cases I like to switch over to tangential design. You may recall axial gives a pretty good approximation of the central corneal data, but tangential tends to give a little bit better look at the peripheral cornea. In that manner, tangential tends to give you a slightly flatter fit. So in these cases where I need to get these lenses aligned, I like to try to get that lens lined up as well as we can with as much as peripheral corneal data as we have. And the best way to do that is to switch over to tangential, and I've got a little bit of a design mock-up here. Switch over to tangential. I would probably go to freeform, although you have a very symmetrical looking cornea here. I would still like to go freeform. That gives you a chance to capture a little more unique topographical nuances here in the peripheral part of the cornea. Go to freeform. I would leave out the aspheric design, leave it freeform, and then redesign in that manner. And now I get a lens that tends to look like it lines quite nicely through here. And continuing on, if you look at the overall design now of this lens, it looks like it lines very nicely in all 360 degrees around the clock dial. If you also happen to click over from freeform to the RSIM, that'll give you sort of a spherical equivalent, spherical base curve equivalent. So if you hit RSIM, that'll say this lens is sort of the equivalent of a 746 base curve. And if you take your design and click over to RSIM, you'll see that you're 720. So just taking this approach will definitely tend to flatten that lens out a little bit more. I think it'll give you a nice alignment in this peripheral part of the cornea, and hopefully that'll get you back on track with this particular patient. So I wish you well, and thank you for contacting Wave Support. Have a great day.